Yo, man, what it is and what it ain't, man. It's your boy BL Ratchet from the We Are Florida podcast, presented by Mix One Essentials, man. And we got a special guest in the building with us today, DJ Winn.
What's going on, my brother? How you doing?
What's up with you, my boy?
Man, I'm blessed.
For sure,
Very
for
blessed.
sure.
Blessed to be here too, man.
Yeah, most definitely. So how your day been today?
Oh, it's been busy, man, but blessed.
Busy?
Yeah, busy but blessed, man.
Okay. So let's jump into your story, man. Where you from?
Where have I lived most of my life?
Yeah.
Or St. Pete.
You know what I'm saying? Where you was born and where you was raised at?
I was born upstate, Rochester, New York.
New York? Okay.
Yeah. Rochester, like upstate, and moved down here when I was 10. So I've been here 36 years, so I'm a Floridian.
Okay, Floridian.
Yes, sir.
For sure.
St. Pete.
St. Pete.
Pinellas County, really, man, because I grew up all over Pinellas County. Yeah, Clearwater, DeWitt, Greenwood, all that.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
For sure. So your name, DJ Winn, man. That speak a lot right there, Winn. You feel me? So like, where you get that name from?
It's really just half my name.
Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, I don't want to ask your full name unless you want to tell me.
Yeah, it's just half my name.
Okay.
Yeah.
For sure. So I was doing my research on you, and I see you grew up as a foster kid.
Yeah, I grew up. My mom and dad were deaf. You know what I'm saying? So I grew up in like I say, upstate New York. You know what I mean? Lived in the projects. You know what I'm saying? There was like a lot of like abuse and different things in the family. We grew up poor. We used to like dumpster dive. We used to jump in dumpsters and collect cans just to be able to eat. You know what I'm saying? So there was a lot of abuse going on. And then my mom ended up getting with my stepdad, and he moved us down to Florida. And then there was like more abuse going on in the family. And then when I was 12, I ended up in a foster home. And then I lived in over 200-something foster homes.
200?
Yes, sir. All through Pinellas County, all through Florida. I used to run away. But the biggest blessing out of that is in my third group home, it was a lady named Irene Johnson, Ma Johnson. God bless her soul, man. She's still around. I just talked to her the other day, man, and she took me to church.
Okay.
And introduced me to the Lord Jesus Christ, and that's what changed my life. And that's where that from when I was 12 till now, like my whole making of my life is what I'm doing right now in my life. But I was running away even after I got saved and gave my life to the Lord. I was running away different foster homes, and there was even times where I was sleeping on park benches. Used to go without food because it's like you only get one mom, and it don't matter how bad the situation was at home. Like you really you still want your parents. So now you took it from them, and you like around these different strangers. You know what I mean? So I used to run away. You know what I mean? As a teenager, sell a little bit of drugs, a little bit of weed or whatever. And then I remember sleeping on park benches behind old foster homes and sheds because I ain't want to turn myself in because I ain't want to be around these people. But then when money got low, you know what I'm saying, from pole hustling and all that, I used to turn myself in and stay in a foster home for a few days or sometimes a couple weeks, you know what I mean? And then I'd be back on the run again. And then when I was like 16, my mom came back and got me when I was 16. And but by that time, like I was a grown man, you know what I'm saying? Like I was already living, so she really couldn't handle me because my mom and dad were deaf, you know what I mean? So I learned sign language. So, you know what I'm saying? My mom had a lot of issues going on in her life by just being deaf, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Letting people use her and, different things like that. So then I ended up back in the foster home until I was 18. And when I jumped out of the foster home, like they ain't had nothing in place, and the system ain't had nothing in place for you to like transition out. So I went straight to the streets. You know what I mean? I was back living in the streets, went back to hustling and selling drugs. But music was always my passion. You know what I'm saying? Like I started DJing like in 1991. When I moved to Florida, like the style of music was different. You had Luke and Two Live Crew and all this different style of music. And then I really started listening to a group called Jam Pony Express DJs. Like Slick Vic, Young Joc, Big Ace, and all them. And that's what, like, inspired me to really want to be a DJ. You know what I'm saying? I love music, but I got on the mic, and I just was good at talking on the mic. You know what I mean? It came natural to me. So I started doing that. And I remember, like, from 91 all the way to, like, 96, I would go to, like, house parties. I couldn't even afford no equipment. This is all in the transition to me running away, being in a foster home. You know what I'm saying? And, yeah, so I would, like, just off a boombox. I used to just be at little house parties, you know what I mean, rocking, off a boombox, cutting the music in and out, and you know what I mean. People just love what I did, you know what I mean. And that transition to in 1996 when I was 18, I started DJing, got my first nightclub job in down there on the beach, on Clearwater Beach, and then just really was DJing in nightclubs, you know what I mean. Since then, you know what I mean, and then just growing up in a foster home, you know, just going through all the little struggles. You know, I used to live on the south side. I used to live on the north side. And I remember, like, when I was on the north side growing up as a kid, like, they used to be calling me Wigger. They like, oh, you know, you a Wigger or whatever. I dealt with that. And then when I would be on the south side, like, I ain't really get that much hate on the south side, but every now and then they used to be like, you know, they used to be like, oh, a cracker, you know what I'm saying? What you doing around here or whatever. So, like, for me growing up, like, I dealt with a lot of different stuff. Adversity, because I was in different areas. You get what I'm saying? So I kind of dealt with it all. And the funny thing is, like, on the north side, but like what they used to call me Wigger, like years down, I was just being myself. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't never trying to be like nothing. It's just like the environment that I grew up in. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I grew up in the hood. You know what I mean? In foster homes, and I grew up with the rich folk in foster homes. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I was just being me. But the funny thing is, like, a lot of the people that was calling me Wigger when they got older, they end up being what they called me. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it was just kind of funny. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, that, you know, but one thing too, I want to tell people, like, you know, growing up in a foster home, like, everybody around me, most of the people I grew up with, they either dead or in prison. You know what I'm saying? And none of them really made it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was probably the only one left that really made it out of our situation. I'm saying my close friends, you know what I mean? Some of them, you know, done did 20, 30 years, and now they getting out of prison and, you know, dealing with life, you know. And one thing I used to tell them is, like, and I tell people this all the time, like, growing up, and especially any young kids that's watching this here right now, is like, you got to be a leader, not a follower.
Facts.
You got to surround yourself by positive people. When you start surrounding yourself by negative people, you're going to do negative things. If you surround yourself by positive people, naturally, you're going to do some positive stuff. And number one, be a leader, not a follower. I followed 2 times in my life, followed other people, and it got me down the wrong path. But ultimately, my mind was always be a leader, not a follower. Like, everybody in the foster home who I grew up with, they was like, man, bump the system, man. Like, we got dealt a bad hand, so, like, I'm going to get in trouble. You get what I'm saying? And I used to try to encourage them back then. Like, listen, man, yeah, we got dealt a bad hand. We done been through all this here, but we still owe it to ourselves to be decent people in society. We still owe it to ourselves to create a good life for ourselves. Why throw your whole life away because we got dealt a bad hand? You know what I'm saying? So for me, I always been a leader, not a follower. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, a couple times, you know, I messed up and followed some, you know, some different situations that could have got me dead or in prison, you know what I'm saying? But by the grace of God, I'm here, you know. But I just want to tell any young person or anybody listening to this, man, be a leader, not a follower, man. And surround yourself by good, like-minded people that's going to, you know what I mean, grow you in life, you know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Mature you in life, learn, you know what I mean? And another thing, I just want to say this, man, because I feel like it's on my heart. Like, what has made me be who I am and unique from other people, and it's probably some people out there like me, is that a lot of the old heads, they always looking down on this generation. They always looking at them, oh man, they always in trouble and they always doing this and they always doing that. Or they don't get how society is now. They don't get how these young generation is. But, you know, you got to be open-minded. So for a person like me, I'm open-minded. I learn from the young people. I learn from people my age, and I learn from the old heads. You get what I'm saying? And when you could keep your mind at a level playing field like that, where you learn from everybody, you'll be more better and successful in life. You know what I'm saying? You'll understand. I get the youth. I get the people my age. And I get the, you know what I'm saying? So I just want to tell people, be open-minded. Like, at least listen. You know what I'm saying? Take a listen to what the youth has to say. Take a listen. Be a good listener. And not always be a speaker. We gonna know what's common sense. If somebody telling us some BS, we gonna decipher that. We gonna be like, man, bruh saying some weird stuff, or bruh on something real. You know what I'm saying? But at least listen to what some people got to say, man.
Facts.
You know?
You gotta listen.
Yeah.
Sure. So, like, bro, when you became a DJ, how much you got paid for your first gig?
I think back then it was like probably like 150. Okay. It was about 150 to start out. DJ prices back then in 1996 at bottom line was like 150.
For sure. So what made you, you know what I'm saying, find your love for music though? You know what I'm saying? Just want to take that shit serious, you know?
I mean, I always loved music. Like I said, I grew up in the projects up north, and my mom was poor. But I remember one year she got me a boombox, and that was freedom to me. Like, me and my older brother, we used to sit on the porch of the projects, and we had a couple little cassette tapes, and we used to just listen to them cassettes. And I don't know, it was just at that moment in time, it was freedom to me. Music is freedom.
Yeah.
Imagine if we ain't had music. Music's like soothing to our soul. It's like it helps our mind, it helps our heart. You know what I'm saying? Like it's essential for us to have music in life. You know what I'm saying? So that really was where the love came from music. And then I don't know, I just had a passion for it. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't know how to DJ good. I just knew how to talk on the mic good. That came natural. Mm-hmm. But like learning how to mix and learning how to do all that came with dedication. You know, I never had a raw talent for that. You know what I'm saying? That just came with hard work over the years of learning and learning and learning.
Okay. For sure. And you got a crazy work ethic, bro. And then, like, even with, you know what I'm saying, speaking on work ethics, the DJs back then, you know what I'm saying, they work with the artists a lot more than DJs now work with artists. You know, like, how that was, you know what I'm saying, hosting all the mixtapes, bro. I mean, and how many mixtapes you got?
Yeah, too many. I couldn't.
You don't know the name?
Yeah,
I mean, the number?
I don't even have a number, man.
Damn.
I couldn't even give you a number. I mean, you got to remember, like, just even in mixtapes, not even counting the hosting mixtapes.
And albums.
I mean, I was making cassettes.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes 2 and 3 a day. Like, I used to live on the south side, and
that's a real grind.
I used to live on the south side when I was 18. So we was in there trapping, you know what I mean, selling a little bit of weed or whatever we was trapping. But it used to be, you know, some street people, they used to come by every day, and they used to be like, man, how much to get our names on one of your tapes? So they'd be like, here go $100, and we'd be like, come back in a few hours. So we literally woke up, literally getting on there and literally just making jam pony tapes. Like, basically, that's what it was, regulating the mic. So we did it like, just like we was eating a meal. You know what I mean? We would make 4 or 5 mixtapes a day. You know what I mean? And just push them out. We would even, you know, jam pony some of the same songs, regulate the same songs, you know what I mean, or whatever. So, like, for me to say a number how many mixtapes I ever put out, I mean, nobody knows. And even hosting tapes, like, I would have to really go back and look, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. But what's some of the, you know what I'm saying, the ones you remember, though? If you can list them off top. I know Jam Pony gotta be up there, like, that's the.
Oh yeah, for sure, yeah. But far as in the whole hosting taste, I would say like 2 of them that really stick out to me, 3 of them that really stick out to me that I felt like really got me to the next level. I did an exclusive mixtape with Lil Flip. Shout out to him, man. I'm still cool with him to this day. Yeah, we did a whole exclusive mixtape. Well, like, he literally, like, it was just him rapping my name, and a lot of it was exclusive. Like, nobody had it. It was just me and him. And I think that really helped me in Texas. And then Mook Boy for sure.
Yes,
Mook Boy, sure. Like, that was classic. When Juvie came out, like, that was you couldn't go around without hearing DJ Winn. Like, it was everywhere. You know what I mean? I think that mixtape alone really was the point of the changing of my career of hosting mixtapes. It really got me to the next level. And I was growing. If you go back and listen to my early mixtapes, how I was screaming and talking on there, it just sounded like not mature. And if you listen to like the ones that I did before I retired from doing it, you just hear the maturity in it. You know what I'm saying? And then the other one I did was with Rich Homie Quan. Like, he had hosted one with me, and that mixtape really took me to the next level too.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Obviously, there's several more, you know what I mean? But them is probably the 3 that really stick out to me.
For sure. And, you know, like, speaking on people like Mook Boy, you know what I'm saying? Like, Mook Boy, one of the ones from Florida, you know what I'm saying, that we can down there put that legendary stamp on. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And what legendary mean to you, bro?
What does legendary mean to me?
What does it mean to you?
To me, leaving an imprint. Leaving an impact on people's mind and hearts. To me personally, that's what legendary means to me. I got it tattooed on me.
Yeah, you feel like you're legendary?
Legendary, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like I'm legendary for my time and what I did. You know what I'm saying, and what I've been able to accomplish. You know what I'm saying? For sure.
For sure. So, bro, I'm gonna throw a couple names.
And I'm saying that humbly.
Yeah, I'm already knowing.
I ain't saying that like, you know what I mean. I just humbly say that, like, you know, if you look back at my career, like, I feel like, especially in this area, like, I set trends. I really set trends that I thought other DJs would follow. but they really didn't. I feel like there's still things that I've done in this area and city that no DJ has yet to really do. You know what I mean? When I really walked away from it or kind of like died down on what I was doing, I really expected some other. I know there's a lot of DJs looked up to me. DJs was always important to me. You know what I mean? Like I used to, when a DJ was coming out with a mixtape, I used to like, hey, because I used to press CDs up. I used to be like, hey, bro, let me press up 200 or 300 for you, man, on the house, man. I just want to look out for you. You know, when I was coming up, I was the underdog. Nobody wanted to see me win. I promise you. I literally was the underdog in this city, like, period. And then as I grew and as I was determined and as I became who I became, I made DJs who didn't respect me not respect me. And I knew they didn't respect me, and I knew they looked at me like, you know, I'm just another DJ trying to, you know, make a name and all that.
For sure.
But the DJs who didn't respect me, it's like I made them respect me. You know what I'm saying? Silently, just with my work. I didn't have to say nothing. I didn't have to be loud. I let the work speak for itself. I let the work do the, you know, the speaking. So for me, I said when I was going to come up that I would pull people up with me.
For sure. I like
and
that.
that's what I've done. You know what I'm saying? Like if you go back and look at my Win or Lose documentary, when I put the physical copies out, I went and did an interview on Surefire. And I went and did an interview on Dream Chaser. You know, I couldn't do it for everybody, but I picked a couple of DJs that I knew that you know what I mean, that I respected, that I wanted to see win. And I put them on my DVD. And when I was putting out my DVDs, you know what I mean? So for me, it's all about lifting other people up.
Facts.
Not being selfish, being humble, and having humility to want to see other people win.
For sure. For sure. So, bro, I'm going to throw a couple names out there, you know what I'm saying? And you tell me how you feel or what you think, you know? Kirby.
Who?
Kirby.
Kirby?
Yeah. That's your brother?
It's my brother, yeah. My older brother, yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? When we say that name, Kirby, how you feel?
The biggest supporter my whole life.
Okay.
Always there no matter what, right or wrong. He was always there for me and is always there for me still to this day.
Still like an inspiration to you, know, for real, for real.
Yeah. I mean, he going to have my back. It's that one person in your life, whether you're right or wrong, even when you're wrong, he going to tell you you're wrong, but he going to stand there with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we all need that person in life.
And that's your blood brother?
Yeah, that's my blood brother.
Was he in foster care and stuff with you?
Yeah, definitely was, yeah.
For sure,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I wrote a book.
Yeah.
So in my book, I speak about everything. I'm more transparent in my book about my whole life than anything.
Yeah, I got to read your book. I know you just got a copy before you got here.
It's very deep and it's very real.
For sure. So, bigger ranking.
Bigger ranking. Somebody that believed in me when a lot of people didn't. But at the same time, I know he believed in me, but it was like, this man grinding. This man doing his thing. Let me put him on the team.
Most definitely.
You get what I'm saying? So it's like he's seen the diamond in the rough, you know what I'm saying? And I got to really shout out Kingpin, you know, because Rat Juggernaut, people know him now as Rat Juggernaut. But
I was going to ask you about him too. That's crazy.
But Kingpin, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was a big part to helping Bigger ranking too at a certain time. Like, I don't take nothing for Bigger. Bigger's work ethic and his whole career is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to him all the time, you know what I'm saying? You know, but I got to definitely shout out Kingpin because he really came in and helped Bigger's career, and he came in and helped my career and helped a lot of people around him. So you can't mention Bigger ranking without mentioning Rat Juggernaut.
Yeah, and I was going to mention him too.
Yeah.
For sure. So, bro, DJ Scream.
When I just think about Scream, man, he always accepted me for who I was and just always supported me.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's just a whole bunch of love right there. I can call him on the phone right now to this day. And it's a ton of DJs like that. You know, like I said, me building relationships was the most important thing to me out there. It wasn't about money. It was about building that relationship. You know, and them relationships are still there to this day.
Yep, and that's why, you know what I'm saying, I tell a lot of young artists, young DJs, you know what I'm saying, young people who in this, you know what I'm saying, music business industry that we in right now, you know what I'm saying, you got to network with people, bro. You got to rub elbows You got to, bruh.
That's what it's
you gotta,
about.
you know what I'm saying, put your pride to the side.
It's about building genuine relationships. Not a relationship because I feel like you could do something
you could do something for me, for sure.
Listen, I have genuine relationships right now that I don't need nothing from them and they don't need nothing from me.
But it's
just
all love.
It's all love. It's a pick up the phone, man. How your kids doing? How your mama doing? How you doing? And that's the most important relationships that money can't buy. You can't buy that. It's either genuine or it's not. You know what I'm saying? And them are the most important relationships to me personally.
For sure. And back to your documentary, bro, like, you know what I'm saying, you recap, like, a lot of your life, bro. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't do that nowadays. Like, they don't, you know what I'm saying, go in and do day ones and, you know what I'm saying, showing the real grind and showing when the blood, sweat, and tears of what they doing, you know what I'm saying, behind their passion or what they got going on. But what made you want to, like, start documenting everything like that, though, bro? Like, who you saw doing that?
I mean, I really didn't see nobody doing it. Shout out to my my partner, man, Dirty That Dude. I don't know if you know who that is.
Yeah,
but
I was gonna bring.
Yeah, Dirty. He was a real important part of my career.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He was like, he did graphics. He was behind the scenes, but he was always with me, and he traveled the country with me. And he believed in me when a lot of people didn't, man. And he used to give me all these ideas. He'd be like, Winn, let's do this. Let's do that. And I was just a make it happen person. It's in my personality. He would come up with these ideas, and I'd be like, let's do it. Let's make it happen. You know what I'm saying? And I would put the work out there. But I can't speak about my career without speaking about him and what he's done to help my career. Because without him, it probably wouldn't be DJ Winn the way it was. You know what I mean? I know I would have definitely did something because it's in me to be something, but it went down the way it is because of him and the support from him.
For sure. So I know you didn't work for a few labels. How was that working for labels, you know?
I mean, working for it's cool, man. It's really what you get from it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's really like, getting in, learning. If you get a situation with a label, don't let it be about money off top. You can't go in there, let it be about a learning experience. Get in there, take what you could take from it. You get what I'm saying? Educate yourself. You know what I mean? For me personally, that's what I would say. If you get a situation with a label, don't automatically go in there, be an intern, put the work in, put the grind in. You know what I'm saying? Learn, educate yourself. You know what I mean? Because that situation may be temporary. Because labels always swapping people in and out. You know what I mean? It's just what it is. But for me, it was a great experience. And the best label and situation that I worked with was First Class Entertainment, which is they were behind Burger and Kalen for real. Shout out them. And I still talk to the label. I still talk to them. And actually, I still work with them behind the scenes on, some different things. You know what I'm saying? But that's probably the best label situation that I ever was in, and good people to work with. You know what I mean?
For sure. So, like, it's a lot of young DJs coming up, and they do it for clout. They do it for fame. They do it for all that. Like, they kind of want to be the rapper now. The DJs kind of want to be the rapper now. But what could you say to a young DJ who on his grind? You know what I'm saying?
So much I could say.
Yeah. Talk to me. We here for
I mean, first and foremost, man, do it. Have a goal. Do it for a purpose. And I would say do it for a purpose that's going to be positive.
Yeah.
That's going to change your community. That's going to change lives around you.
Yeah. See, like, what's also a few tips that you can, like, get them to do those things, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I'll take it to the basics. I mean, work on your craft.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Work on your craft. Be a risk taker. One thing about me is that people could tell you, people that know me, like, I took risk on breaking records. I was a risk taker. You know what I'm saying? Like, Power Hour, you would hear me play a song or two songs that nobody would ever take a chance to play.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? During that time. But I knew my DJ skills were good enough to where if I played a record that nobody knew and they stood around and they were like, man, what's this record? I just used, Young Joc as an example, going down in the trap or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like I was DJing at Club Karma in St. Pete. If anybody knows what that is, that's you know what I mean, the club on Central.
Okay.
And it was it was the hood. It ended up being many names, but I remember being in that club when that record came out, and it hadn't hit the internet. You know, the internet back then wasn't as big as it is now, so it took a little time to travel, the music and different things like that. But I remember bringing that record back. I was at a video shoot, and it was Young Joc and Benny. No, not Benny. Say what was one of them dudes that was in Boys in the Hood that was rapping?
Jody Breeze.
Jody Breeze. I was at their video shoot in Atlanta. Huge video shoot, man. It was crazy, and I remember just like really hearing that record, and I was like, man, this is a hot record. I eventually met Young Joc and, talked to him and stuff like that. But I was just into breaking records. And I took that record and brought it back down here, and I just knew it was a hit record. God blessed me to have a knack to be able to hear a hit record. And I remember bringing that down to that club, and it would be power hour, you know what I mean, when people wanted to hear the hottest music, the club being packed. And I would play that record, and I would run it back, and I'd be telling the whole crowd, boy, this the next hot record. And they'd be standing at me, they'd be looking at me like, what this man playing? What this man playing? But that's the risk taker in me.
Yeah.
6 months later, it was the biggest record in the country. And then everybody in that club, they was doing the little dance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I remember like Gutter Sound, because I came up with them, man. I can't speak about my career without mentioning Gutter Sound, Creek Dog, Charlie Moe, Fat Chris. You know what I'm saying? Luciano family, like all of them was a big part of my music career. You know what I mean? They believed in me when nobody did neither. I remember them because we all was in Atlanta together, and they heard the same thing I heard with that song. You know what I mean? So they would be the only ones that would be doing the little dance when I was playing it. Everybody else would be standing around, but they would be, because they knew, they seen what I seen. They like, man, it's hot.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I mean? And I've done that with several records. I'm just using that as an example. You know what I mean? So I would tell a young DJ, man, take chances, man.
Yeah, take
It ain't going to hurt, because I knew, like, I was a good enough DJ to, like, okay, I might lose the crowd on this one, but they going to remember the DJ who played this six months later, because every week they in there. I'm playing the record.
I remember this song.
Yeah, but I remember DJ Winn played that record. And then I know I was a good enough DJ to where, like, the next song coming on, like, I'm going to turn it up anyway. It just who I was. I was just blessed to have mic skills to be able to like turn the crowd up and get them going and stuff like that.
So quick question: What's one of them songs you gonna play? You know what I'm saying, to get the crowd going back then? Like
back then.
Yeah.
I mean anything Jeezy, Boosie,
Anything Jeezy.
set it off. I remember like even when Boosie was locked up for like 5 and 6, I mean for he was about like almost 5 years, wasn't it? 5, 6 years, yeah. Man, I was playing Boosie, like even then. I remember, I ain't trying to be funny, but I remember some independent artists coming up to me, man, Boosie locked up, man. Why you ain't playing us? You playing Boosie, man, you ain't playing us. But I mean, it's a hit record.
Yeah, for sure.
I played plenty of independent artists.
Yeah.
And I would probably end up playing them independent artists' music anyway. But I remember they used to get on me. They'd be like, man, why you playing Boosie, man? I said, man, it's hot. This what get them going.
For sure.
Come on, you can't play set it off back in the day. Like, it's probably still hot now.
Still lit.
That's what I'm saying.
Lit. For sure. So, like, speaking on independent artists walking up into you at the club, bro, like, was you know what I'm saying, was you one of those artists, like, for me to play your music, you got to pay to play? Or how you was doing it?
No.
Okay.
I never would take money for club play like that. But I don't disagree with a DJ who
sure.
if that's what they do, that's what they do. You know what I'm saying? I don't knock it. Just my thing wasn't that. To me, if it was a hot record and it had potential, I would do it. No, don't get it wrong. It's been people came to the club and they just throw the money down. They'll come in the booth and be like, here, man, just play my song. Like, I ain't gonna sit there and turn, you know what I mean? You throw it down, I'm gonna put it in my pocket or whatever. I might hand it back to you. And you might say, man, come on here, take it like that. But I had somebody come to me one time and they offered me $10,000 to play their music at that same club, Club Karma. I remember they came from out of town and he was like, man, I got 10 bands, man, play my record. And my thing is like, I didn't believe in the record enough to take the money to play it. And I'm like, I'm already in here doing, 10 bands would have been nice. Anybody would like 10 bands, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't like and believe in the record enough to be able to take money. Because what happens is if you take that money, now you forced to play a record you don't even like. Why would you even do that?
To something.
Yeah, now you indebted to something, right? On something you don't even like. I'd rather play something I like. I'd rather say, listen, man, this ain't it. You know, give me something I can work with, and I'm not gonna charge you anyway. I'm already getting paid to be here to play records. Right. So why not play the record? You get what I'm saying? So like the man was kind of in his feelings that I turned down his money, but in the long run, he respected me. We had talked down the line. He was like, man, I appreciate you for being real. Because all the DJs, they would have just took my money and just kept it running. You know what I mean? It's even now, when I send records out for anybody, I'm going to hit a DJ and be like, hey, bro, let me know, can you work with the record? Do you like the record? Because I don't want a DJ spinning nothing that they don't like. That's like,
for sure.
You know what I mean? That don't make sense.
Most deaf. So, like, you know what I'm saying? You didn't basically retire from DJing now, right?
I mean, I did retire.
Okay.
But I do tour DJ for country Christian hip hop artists.
Okay. Talk to me about that. How that experience been lately for you?
It's been amazing. So I would say about 2 years ago. I just want to get to this point here first, though, if it's cool with you, man. Sure. Like 10 years ago, almost 11 years ago, my mom got murdered. Mom got murdered. She got stabbed 13 times. It was like on the news. It was like a real publicized thing. And I went into a real deep, dark depression for like 10 years. 10 years of dealing with anger and suicide, being depressed. So I went through 10 years of like a lot of pain, a lot of, trying to figure life out. And then 2021 in May, I just decided, like, I just don't want to do the music no more. I didn't feel whole. I just didn't feel no more. Like, I tried, I've done it. Like, I just felt empty inside. And like I said, I got saved in the church when I was 12. And I don't know, it was just on my heart. I had already started going back to church a couple years now, but it was on my heart to, like, finally, like, say, you know what, I'm finna just live my life for the Lord. And most people now that don't know me, they're probably like, man, this man done had to change his whole life and started living for the Lord. But honestly, this was already prophesied on my life over a 30-year period that one day I'd be living for the Lord. And whether we believe that or not when we hear it, whether we know that or not when we hear it, you know what I mean, it came to light. It came to be true. You know what I mean? I didn't know what it was going to look like and when it was going to come, but it came. Came in May of 2021, and COVID just kind of like things started opening back up. And I remember I was on a little mini tour with a Burger. We were doing a whole Alabama run, and I remember being on that run with him and coming off of that run. It was going into Mother's Day, and then I used to, like, Mother's Day, I'd fight deep depression. The month my mom got killed, depression. Holidays, depression. Birthday, depression. So I was always pulling myself out of deep depression like 4 times a year. I get into a good place, and then I dive back down. I don't know. I was just at a place where I was just like, man, I don't want to do it no more. So I remember talking to Burger and the label, and I was like, bro, I'm going to walk away from music, man. You know what I'm saying? I just don't want to do it no more. And I still had a lot of business and some things that I had to do. So it took me a year to get out of it. You know what I mean? I couldn't just walk away of 20-something years in the music business when I had obligations, you know what I'm saying? Mixtape hostings and different things that I was obligated to that I had to finish up. And so it took me a year to get out of it. But May 2021, I decided to leave, and I just started really going to church, and I was just talking to God, you know what I'm saying, talking to the Lord, and I was just like, man, what's next for my life, you know what I mean? And I was praying for people. I was feeding people at my church and, like, praying for people and just talking to Jesus and just asking him, like, what's next? And for 6 months I did that. I prayed for 6 months. And I remember talking to Burger about when I left him, he had a tour with Moneybagg Yo, and I remember telling him, you know what I mean, if they needed a DJ, like, I would still be here for them if that time came. And I was going to go on a church mission to Africa, caught COVID, so I couldn't go to Africa. And then the tour came up at the same time, and I remember Jay Holler, shout out to him, man. He had hit me up. He was like, man, we got a DJ who could do half the tour, so can you do the other half of the tour? But then it was really like, man, can you do the whole tour? And I was like, yeah, I could do it. You know what I'm saying? You know, because I already knew in my mind that, you know, by that time I knew I was going to start doing a motivational speaking thing. You know what I'm saying? And I already kind of had the podcast going, so I was still kind of doing that. I'm just going through a big transition in my life, you know. So I did the tour, came off the tour, and then I put that flyer out. And you know, that's when I was your niece.
Yeah, my niece.
Your niece hit me up. She was a school teacher at a middle school. She was the first person. She was like, you know, to hit me up. She was like, hey man, I would love for you to come speak to my students. And that's kind of how that came about. You know what I mean? And then I didn't think I'd be doing music no more. I started, after I put that flyer out, I started speaking at middle schools, high schools, juvenile prisons, which I still do, you know what I mean, the recovery centers. I go to churches, wherever I could share my testimony about how God changed my life. You know what I'm saying? And then February 2022, my older brother sent me this guy's song. His name is Rob, but his rap name is Rare of Breed. And it was a song called Don't Understand. And I think I was in a place of life where I didn't really understand what was going on. I knew I was in a transition. I knew I was living for the Lord. I knew that's what I wanted to do. But I still was at a place like, okay, am I going to do this motivational speaking full time? Like, whoa, I still was in a place where I didn't understand. And that song really spoke to me. And then I hit him up, and I was like, hey, man, I just love what you're doing. You know what I mean? Keep doing what you're doing, you know, the music. Because, you know, I started listening to only Christian rap. And a lot of the Christian rap just didn't sound good to me. It just didn't resonate with me. You know what I'm saying? So when I heard his music, it really resonated with me. And I could understand it, and it really spoke to my heart. So anyway, I hit him up on Instagram. He hit me back, and we talked for about 2 or 3 months. And then he hit me up, I think it was like April or May of 2022. And he was like, I got 2 booked shows in Florida, man. Would love for you to come DJ. And I was like, at first, I was like, man, I don't know if I could do it. Go to a church and DJ and like turn up the way I turn up, you know what I'm saying? But I was missing that turn up in the club. I mean, I was missing the music. I ain't gonna lie. Like, you know, when music is in you,
that passion.
Yeah, it's in you. It's like, you know what I mean? And so I stepped out on faith, man. I was like, you know what, let's do it. I went to Orlando. It was at a church right outside of Orlando, and I went and DJ, and it was just powerful, man. Like, I remember like the second song on his set, you know what I mean? And I never DJ'd his set. I never really knew all his music. I just knew, you know what I mean? He was giving me opportunity. But I remember the Holy Spirit, the way God moved, and people was coming to the altar in tears, and I just felt the presence of the Lord. It was just so powerful. And he liked what I did, and I liked what he did. And he was just like, hey, man, we're going to go on tour all summer. I want to make you my official DJ, man. And I was just like, let's do it. And then so all last year from July to December, I was on like 4 or 5 planes every weekend, traveling across this country, going to churches, just different places, you know what I'm saying? And it was life-changing. It filled me up. It gave me happiness. It gave me peace. It gave me purpose just for doing it for the Lord, you know what I'm saying? It really outdid 25 years of the music industry. Like all the stuff I seen in the music industry, being around all the famous people, the drugs, the cars, the money, the women, all this stuff that never really mattered to me anyway. I never looked at it like, you know, for me, I always wanted to be successful in the music business to give back. Facts. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was doing, you know, I made a deal with God in it was like somewhere around 20, right after 1999, somewhere around maybe 2003, somewhere around there. I made a deal with God because I was like hustling in the street still, right? And I got robbed. I got robbed for a little bit of work that I had left. And I remember just talking to God then and just saying, God, if you just let me live off my music and let me become successful in music, you know what I mean, that I give back and do positive, you know what I'm saying? And then I did. He blessed me to be successful in music, and I started doing clothing drives, started doing backpack giveaways, you know, school supplies, and started doing a turkey drive, you know what I'm saying, for like 14 years, you know what I mean, giving back, you know. So that process started way back then, you know what I'm saying, just wanting to get back. So my whole goal was to make it in the music industry, get real money, you know what I'm saying, and give back. But I really found myself just on a hamster wheel. I was just working so hard just on this wheel of like with no end goal, no plan. It was just like, let me host the hottest mixtapes. Let me, be around all these artists. Like something's going to happen. You know what I mean? Maybe I'll get this big radio job, even though I was on 10 stations across the country. You know what I'm saying? I just thought there was no end goal. There was no plan. You get what I'm saying? So like when I left it and started doing this with him, it just gave me peace. It gave me purpose. It gave me joy. It gave me happiness again. You know what I'm saying? It like filled the hole that I can only call, it's the God hole. It's the hole that only the Lord can fill up. When you're empty inside and you done did everything for the world and everything's at your hands and you can do whatever and you still feel empty, only the Lord Jesus Christ can fill you up, man, for me. And that's what did it for me. And I know if God could do that for me, he could do that in anybody's life. Facts. And it changed my life. And then last year, while I'm on tour in October with him, God just put it on my heart to write a book and tell my story. And I didn't even know the name of the book. God would just like write it. Just tell your story and the name will come. And so as I'm writing the book, I was like, man, in every moment, there was one time in my life I was homeless. This one particular time, I've been on the streets a long time, but I remember this one time I was homeless. It was during the holidays. It was cold outside, and my homeboy had a trap house, and I used to back my car in there, and I had this old car, man, and I used to call it the Barney Rebel car. Y'all watched the Flintstones before? Mm-hmm. Their feet be sticking out. Well, this car, it had holes in the floor, so you drive, and if your foot slip, you're gonna hit the concrete. Mm. So it was cold, man. You know what I'm saying? I remember just sleeping in that car, man. And I remember just at night, just talking to God. Even then, just like God, like I didn't even know like a lot of scripture. You know what I mean? I still don't know scripture. I still don't necessarily know the Bible like that, but I know God is real. I know what he did for my life. And I remember just talking to God, and I remember Psalms 91, which is my favorite scripture. It's like a prayer of protection. And then Psalms 23. Them were the only two like scriptures I even knew. And I remember just talking to God in that place of, being broken and not having nowhere to live and just being, my clothes was in storage. I had to go to a storage unit every day and try to go find me somewhere to sleep. You know what I'm saying? I was in a bad place. But as I'm writing the book, every moment of my life, that's why I end up naming it in every moment. And I named it in every moment because in every moment of my life, God was there. Jesus was there, and he had his hands on me. Every situations where I could have went to prison, situations where I've been shot at and could have been killed. You know what I'm saying? He saved me from that. And I used to always pray to God. You get what I'm saying? But I wasn't fully living for God. But I always knew he existed. I knew he had his hands on my life. So he told me to write the book. So I wrote the book. I published it this year in May, put it on Amazon, and I've been taking it. And even with that, like I sell the book, but I sell the book to get more books. Because when I go to the prisons, I give all the young men and women books free. When I go speak at places, I give away 100 books, you know what I'm saying, to however many kids are there, So for me, it's just important to get my story out because I feel like when you read that book, your life somehow is gonna be effectively, positively changed in some kind of way. You're gonna find inspiration somewhere in that book, you know what I mean, telling my story. So God put it on my heart to do it, and then so this year we went on 2 tours with Rare Breed, and powerful, life-changing, man. When I first started DJing for them, the crowds were like 200 to 500. This year, it's been like 700 to 2,500 people coming out, all for what God is doing through his music. You know what I'm saying? So we did a 18-city tour in the spring. Powerful. I could sit there and talk about it forever. And then we just came off I got married too, which was a blessing.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. God really blessed me with a wife that really loves Jesus, man, and some amazing kids that I really love and I appreciate. And so I got married, moved, and then I just came off a 24 city tour. We just finished it up, wrapped that up, and we did it in like 60 something days. And we went across this country and just to see the positivity and just see, you know, people need something in life right now.
Most definitely.
You know what I'm saying? And people need Jesus, if you ask me. It's what it did for me in my life. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I just want to encourage people, whatever it is, man, find that peace. You know what I'm saying? Because we all go through stuff, and even to this day, like, I don't got it all together. I don't got my life all together. Nobody, none of us do. We wake up with days where things go on in our life. You know what I'm saying? We still deal with what life is, and we're gonna deal with that for the rest of our life. But I'd rather walk with Christ than to walk in this world and try to do it on my own.
For sure. So, bro, we winding down to the bottom of the podcast, but I got a couple of questions for you. DJ Clue or DJ Drama?
Drama.
Drama?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. For sure. So, DJ Khaled, Funk Master Flex.
I got to say Khaled because I'm from the South.
Okay.
I got love for Khaled, man. I've met him a couple times. You got to respect him.
For sure.
For Florida, I feel like he and just for the South, I mean, what he's done, I mean, I respect all the DJs, you know, Funk, Flex, everybody, but I feel like what Khaled has been able to do is do it at the highest level.
Facts.
And nobody's yet, to me, on that level. Now, you got EDM DJs that's doing their thing, that's probably making a ton of money too, but for the hip-hop, it's Khaled. You got to give him his respect. For
sure. So, Pharrell or Timbaland?
That's a tough one. I'm gonna go with Timbaland.
Timbaland.
Even though I like Pharrell too, and both of them are just really talented men.
Okay.
But I'm gonna go with Timbaland because, you know, I kind of got on Timbaland before Pharrell. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I think both of them are extraordinary producers. You know, and not even beat makers, producers.
Yeah,
you know, it's a difference between making beats and producing.
producing.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
It's a difference. But yeah.
For sure. So, my last one to you. Gotta be a tough one. Gotta be a good one. Let me think. I know this was big in your, you know what I'm saying, era. That Jeezy and Gucci. What you think about that? Who you think? Your era, like who really had it?
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah. Cause I know you was in them clubs during that time.
Yeah, I mean,
Jeezy, Gucci, who you want to play, who they want to hear.
I'm gonna be real with you. Like, to me, they neck and neck, right?
Yeah.
But if I have to choose one, I'm gonna have to go with Jeezy.
Okay.
If I have to choose one, I'm gonna have to go with Jeezy. Not taking nothing from Gucci because I feel like they're neck and neck, but there was a moment when Jeezy came out with My President's Black. Mm-hmm. And I remember being in the nightclub playing that and just feeling like, wow, like we accomplished something in America. When Obama came in,
Facts.
that was life-changing. And I'm not saying that one song over, you know, because Jeezy had, come on, man.
Yeah, he got
hits. And so does Gucci, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But I just feel like in that moment, that song really just took it to another level. Like, it really, like, meant something in that era and that time, man.
Facts.
Going to the club. It wasn't like you were at a nightclub when that song came on. When you played that, and the bomb was, you know, was coming in, it just was powerful. And I don't get into politics. There's two things I don't really talk about is religion and politics. Now, I'll sit here and talk about Jesus because I don't believe in religion. I believe in a personal relationship with the Lord Jesus Christ. So I don't talk religion with people, you know what I'm saying? Like, I speak about what I believe in, and I'll listen to what somebody else believes in, and I respect them. I don't battle. I don't do none of that. I know what I believe in, but that's two things I don't do. Is politics, but that was a moment in history to me that I'll never forget.
I'm already knowing.
Yeah, man.
I'm already knowing.
Yeah.
No, we definitely
and that's for every race.
Yeah, for sure.
Every person. Doesn't matter if you was black, white, whatever you is, man.
No matter.
For when Obama came in,
yeah,
that was something that we, you know, that was powerful, and we needed that.
For sure.
You know,
everybody needed to see it.
For sure.
Most definitely. So, like, you know what I'm saying? We definitely got to have you on here for a part 2, though, bro.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Listen, I would love to come here, man. Like I tell people, man, I'm just a humble dude, man, and I just want people to, I just want people to take from this episode, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could do anything you want in your life. Anything. But you got to dedicate and be consistent. Find your one. Find your thing. Find what's you.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? It's okay to try a bunch of different things, but when you find that thing, that one thing, stick to it and give it your all. You should give it your all the way through anyway. Even if something don't work out, at least you know you gave it your all. You can't walk away and say that, you know what, I didn't give it my all. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to leave that, and then just, you know, try to wake up every day and do something positive in this world. Spread positivity. We got so much hate and, you know, all the craziness with social media. You know, I tell people, like, I'm an old head or whatever you want to call it. I'm 46 years old. And when I grew up, right, there was really no social media like that, right? So in the neighborhood, when we would get in a fight in the neighborhood, it would just be like neighborhood.
Yeah.
We'd be back, you know, if it wasn't that serious and it was just a fist fight, we'd be back playing football or basketball the next day and laughing about that fight. We might talk a little razz, you know what I'm saying? But in this generation, and it's not even a generation, it's the technology of the world that where we're at. Mm-hmm. It's sad to see that when people get in a fight in the neighborhood, people are quick to pick up the phone than they are to break up the fight because they want to see people go viral. And that's when the biggest mistake comes in, because when they pick up that phone, just say you and somebody else beefing or whatever, right? Y'all got in a fight, okay, in the neighborhood. Everybody got their phone. And you know it's finna go viral. And so you and both of y'all in y'all mind, you like, man, I'm not finna let this man outdo me because I know this thing finna go viral. So now it becomes, forget the fist fight. Now I want to shoot. Now I want to do whatever, you know what I'm saying, do whatever to take each other out. And that's why I feel like technology, you know what I'm saying, the phones really made it worse to me personally. You know what I'm saying? When you look back at society, it's worse now because nobody wants to be ashamed that they got beat up or whatever in front of millions of people. So now it becomes war. It becomes, I'm finna take you out. You know what I'm saying? And that's the sad thing of society. And I try to, you know, when I go to these schools and I talk to these young men and women, I really try to tell them sometimes we gotta have willpower and, you know, be the better person to be like, you know what, I'm gonna walk away from this.
Facts. Because
this might ruin my life. I can end up dead. I can end up in prison. Other people can get hurt. Sometimes we just have to man up and just be like, you know what, I'm gonna walk away from this. Now I know there's levels of different disrespect. You get what I'm saying, to where everybody want to take it there. But to me, there's so much senseless violence in our communities and stuff like that. So I just want to tell people, man, make a difference.
Got to make a difference.
That's it, man. You know, do something positive. Tell somebody something nice today. Lift somebody up. You don't have to know that person. You could be walking in the gas station or something, man, and just say, hey, man, hope you have a great day. Whether they receive it or not, they might be in a bad mood or something.
They might fly right past.
Yeah. But you can still find somebody to do something positive with, man. Sure. Life is short. We are literally here today and gone tomorrow.
No doubt. I definitely appreciate you for coming on our show, man. We are Florida Podcast, man. We tapping in and tapping out with DJ Winn, man. You know what time it is. Let's go. Yes, sir.
Appreciate y'all having me, man. Yeah.
We're going to have you come.